Listen, if you feel stuck, scattered, or like you keep self-sabotaging, it's usually not your mindset. It's your nervous system doing its job too well, keeping you in survival mode. And you're not broken because when your body senses a threat, an email or a deadline or even just a hard conversation to have, it literally flips you into one of these four survival states: the fight, flight, freeze, and even fawn response. Fawning is the one that a lot of us tend to forget about. And in these states, your perception completely changes. Everything's gonna look risky, overwhelming, and even pointless. Hi, I'm Reese, and I blend psychology, neuroscience, and body-based tools to make change actually stick. And in this video, I'll teach you how to identify your survival pattern in under a minute, and also give you simple regulation steps to help you move out of survival and into safety. And by the end of this video, you'll have a mini unstuck protocol. And what is that going to include? It's going to include naming your state. So fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Then we're going to go into regulating your body. Okay, I'll guide you through breath, orientation, and micro release exercises. Then after that, we're going to reframe after regulation. Okay, so your brain updates to being safe enough. And then finally, we're going to take one tiny action just to build some momentum today. And just to make this easier for you guys, I've created a free follow along worksheet that you can find in the description of this video so that you can start working with your biology right now. Come on, guys, let's get unstuck right now. Okay, but here's the science of these responses in more simple terms. We have the fight response, which shows up as urgency, frustration, and snapping at people. We have the flight response, which looks like overworking, perfectionism, and you're having 10 tabs open. Then we have the freeze response, and this can look like procrastination and numbness, or even doom scrolling on TikTok. And then finally, we have the fawn response. And this one, a lot of people don't actually know about. And it comes in the form of people pleasing or over explaining yourself or saying yes to things when really you mean to say no. Now, I want you guys to remember that these aren't character flaws. They're protective reflexes wired into your biology. And the empowering part about it is that once you can spot them, you can shift them. Okay, so now let's break down these four survival responses: the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn responses. Because once you can recognize them, everything starts to make a lot more sense. Okay, so when your nervous system senses danger, it doesn't just ask for your permission, okay? It's automatic. And I want you to think of it like it's an overprotective bodyguard. It's going to jump in, it's going to pull the alarm and lock you into survival. Even when the threat is actually just something simple like an email or a deadline, or even just having a difficult conversation with somebody. And here is exactly how each of these survival states is going to show up in your real life. Okay, so let's get into it. The first one is your fight response. And let's just get one thing clear here. This isn't just physical fighting. It's a surge of irritation, when your chest tightens and your jaw clenches, and you can even snap over something very simple. But this is your body saying, if I fight back, I'll be safe. And here's the reframe I want you guys to have with this response. That same fight energy, when regulated, is giving you your fire, okay? It's the courage that you will have to set boundaries and protect your values and even speak your truth. Okay, now let's go on to the next one, the flight response. Now, flight is going to show up in your life as like constant busyness. You are overworking yourself and overcommitted. You are almost wanting to always stay in motion so that you don't have to feel what's actually underneath. And your nervous system is gently whispering to yourself that if I keep running, nothing can catch me. Now, the gift is that this same energy, when harnessed, is incredible drive. And when it's done correctly, this energy is going to feel like focus, creativity, and even momentum without the feelings of burnout. Okay, now the freeze response. Freeze is going to feel like being stuck in quicksand. You know what you need to do, but you just can't. And so you zone out and you procrastinate and You doom scroll on your phone till 3 o'clock in the morning on TikTok. I know you guys. I know we've all been there. And those hours are just going to disappear. So I want you to remember that this is actually your biology saying things like, if I go still, maybe the danger will pass. But freeze isn't failure. In fact, there's wisdom in it. And it teaches us to pause and conserve our energy and to wait until the moment is right for us. And with the proper regulation, that stillness becomes presence and clarity and even calmness. Okay, and lastly, the one that a lot of people forget about or don't even know about, the fawn response. And what fawning is going to show up as is people pleasing. Okay, you say yes when actually you mean to say no. We've all been there when we agree to something that we don't actually want to do. We might be people pleasing here. You over apologize for things that you shouldn't have apologized for, or you make yourself small to avoid conflict. And underneath all of this is a message that is saying, if I keep everyone happy, I'll be safe. Yet the same instinct holds deep empathy and care. And when regulated, this fawn response becomes our ability to connect with people, to build trust with people, to nurture strong relationships. Okay, so what I want you guys to remember is that none of these survival responses make you weak or broken. They are literally protective reflexes that are programmed into your body and help your body learn how to keep you alive. And the empowering part about this is that survival mode was never meant to run your life forever. Once you spot which state you're in, you can regulate it. That's when growth, freedom, and real choice come back online. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper into why you still feel stuck. And this is going to make things all click for you. Your nervous system isn't just running in the background. It's a command center for your whole entire experience. And the polyvagal theory, developed by Dr. Stephen Porges, literally explains that your body is always scanning for safety or for danger through a concept called neuroception, which is below conscious awareness. And that scan decides how much energy or focus or openness you actually have in the moment. And here's the wild bit, that it happens before your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, even has a chance to say what's going on. So when your system senses safety, you land in this ventral vagal state. And this is your calm, connected mode, where you're going to feel present and curious and capable and able to take action. But when your system senses threat, it drops you down the ladder. And how does it drop you down this ladder? Well, first into the sympathetic activation, your fight-flight responses, your energy surges, your heart races, and your breath quickens. You almost feel as though you are on edge. And if that doesn't work, your system pushes you even further into the dorsal vagal state, which is like a complete shutdown. And this is what is our freeze response. Basically, your energy is going to collapse. You'll feel numb, heavy, and even disconnected. And I want to remind you that this isn't weakness. It's your body trying to protect you the fastest way it knows how to. And here's where it can get a little bit tricky. Your nervous system doesn't just react to real danger. It also reacts to perceived danger, like a deadline or a very tough conversation, or even the vulnerability of success. I know, it's crazy. A lot of us don't think about that one, but it's true. And that's why it feels like you're stuck. Your body is convinced you're not safe and it can't move forward. You're not safe enough to move forward. Now, if you've been through trauma, your system gets stuck in these survival loops even more. And the alarm system in your body gets oversensitive. So this is exactly where body-based practices like TRE, trauma and tension releasing exercises, comes in. But how does TRE work? TRE works by activating your body's natural tremor mechanism. It literally shakes off stored survival energy so that your system can reset back into safety. And it's one way of reminding your body that the danger has passed. The danger is done. It's over. And you can now stay calm. You can now rest. You can stand down. And neuroscience backs this up. When you regulate your nervous system, even a small little bit or little shift even, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that thinks clearly and makes decisions, comes back online. And this is what we call bottom-up regulation. Body first, brain second. And let me tell you guys, this is exactly why mindset hacks and affirmations don't often work when you're dysregulated. You are basically trying to argue with your biology. You can't reframe your way out of a fight-flight response, but you can breathe. You can orientate yourself. You can move. You can release the tension to send the signal that I am safe enough. Okay? Once your body calms, your brain updates. And now you can think, plan, and take action. This is how you break that stuck cycle. Not by forcing willpower, but by learning to work with your biology, not against it. Okay, so let's make this real for a moment now. I want us to pause and we're going to check in with our body. Okay, so remember, according to the polyvagal theory developed by Dr. Stephen Porges, your nervous system works like a ladder. At the top of this ladder, we have your ventral vagal state. Okay, so that's our safe, our calm, our connected. You're going to feel grounded, open, and capable. Then in the middle, we have your sympathetic activation. And this is going to be your fight and flight responses, where you'll have lots of energy, but it can feel edgy, restless, or even sometimes explosive. And then at the bottom is your dorsal vagal shutdown. This is your freeze response or dissociation, where you will collapse, or you may feel numbness, disconnection, and very low energy. Okay, so your body naturally moves up and down this ladder all the time, and it's completely normal. Now remember that the goal isn't to never leave that top layer, that ventral vagal state, because we're human. We're going to feel emotions. Being human is to feel emotions. So we're not saying we want to stay stuck in this toxic positivity at all. But the goal is to notice where you are and how to climb back up this ladder. That's the goal. So right now, I want you to ask yourself, do I feel like fighting? Am I feeling snappy, tense, or in need of control right now? Do I feel like running? Am I restless? I can't sit still. I'm having racing thoughts and I'm feeling very busy. Do I feel shut down? Am I feeling a bit foggy in my head? Am I feeling very heavy and disconnected from my surroundings? Or do I feel like I'm pleasing? Am I over-agreeing to things? Or am I saying yes to things when really I should be saying no? Take a second and name it. Remember, just one word. Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. That's it. Okay? Okay, good. Because this is very powerful. And I want to congratulate you for writing that down. Because naming your state starts to help shift your state. The neuroscience shows us this, that when you label what's happening in your body, your prefrontal cortex, that part of your brain that regulates and makes sense of experiences, switches back online. Okay, so go ahead and circle that on your worksheet if you've downloaded it. It's in the description, guys. Or if you didn't download it, that's okay. Just keep a mental note in your head. Okay, so this is going to be step 1 of the unstuck protocol. Spot your state. Because once you see where you are, you don't have to judge it. You can start to change it. Okay, now we're going to shift all of this information into transformation. Okay, so bear with me here. Remember that your body leads, your brain follows. Okay, so we're going to regulate first, and then we're going to reframe. This is going to take a couple of minutes. First, we're going to start with step A, orientate. Okay, basically orientate is going to tell your body that it's safe here. So I want you to gently look around your room. Slowly turn your head and look around your room. Okay. And what I want you to do is find 5 things you can see. Okay? 5 things. Then I want you to name the colors or the shapes of these 5 things and say them out loud. Okay? So for example, I can say a wooden table or a blue Stanley cup. Okay? And you're going to do this for 5 things. Okay? Now I want you to notice 3 sounds that you can hear. Okay? Just listen carefully for them and see what you can notice, and I want you to say them out loud also. I hear the birds chirping outside, and I can hear the dogs barking next door. Okay, now I want you to feel where your body contacts the floor or the ground. Where is that gravitational pull to the earth? Are you sitting on a chair? Are you standing? Are you leaning on something or even lying down? Notice it. Write it down. Okay, there's nothing to fix here. We're just letting our nervous system register that I am here right now. Okay, I'm safe. right now in this moment. A little disclaimer, guys, that if you are feeling a little bit spacey right now, I want you to keep your eyes open as you do this. Okay, now we're going to move into step B, which is the breath resets. Okay, so we're going to do 3 physiological sighs. We're going to inhale, tiny top up, inhale, and then a long exhalation. Okay, now what's really important here is to breathe in for about 4 counts and then out for about 6 counts. Okay, so we're going to do it together. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds. I'm not going to do it for the 30 seconds for the points of this video, but I want you to do it at home. Okay, so we're going to breathe in for 4. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, let's go. And then out for 6. Very good, guys. Very good. I want you to remember to let that exhale be easy. I don't want you to force anything, okay? We are just reminding our body that I can slow down, I'm allowed to breathe. I want you to repeat this for about 30 seconds. So pause this video and do that for 30 seconds and then come back. Okay, once you're back, we are going to move into step C, which is going to be our grounding and our releasing, okay? So I want you to press your feet into the floor for 8 seconds. Whether you're standing or sitting, I want you to press those feet into the floor for about 8 seconds, okay? And then release, okay? I want you to like interlace your fingers, okay? Like this. Interlace your fingers or put your fingers together and we're going to pull gently, okay? We're pulling gently. I don't want you to have too much force here. We're just pulling gently for 8 seconds. And then we're going to release, okay? And if you feel a little bit buzzy, shake out your hands. I want you to shake out those hands if you're feeling a little bit buzzy. And even if it's in your legs, shake it out for 15 seconds. That's okay. It's like a dog after the rain. And then I want you to pause and feel that tingling settle. That's your system discharging. It's your system discharging stored survival energy. Now, if you've made it this far, we're going to go into step D, which is our vagus nerve cues. Okay, so now we're going to try some things that provide, some tone via sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to hum comfortably a for 10 seconds. Okay, I know this one might feel a little bit weird, but I want you guys to trust me with this. So for 10 seconds, we're going to hum. Okay, we're going to do a Perfect. I want you to feel that vibration around your face. I know you felt it, okay? Your face, your throat vibrating. That's important. Okay, and now we're going to do one more. In for 4 breaths, out for 6 breaths, okay? So let's quickly do that. 3, 2, 1, let's go. For 4, and then out for 6. Perfect. And now if you're thinking, why did we just do that? That was weird. I'm going to explain now. Those cues literally nudge your system towards something called social safety mode, which is more of your calm, connected, presence energy. Okay, now we're going to go into stating the specific mini resets. And you can choose one that fits you today. You don't have to do all of them, okay? Remember that there's the 4 survival responses, and we're going to break down each one specifically. So if you're in a fight response, you're feeling tense or snappy, I want you to do what we call a wall press. So what you're going to do is you're going to place your palms of your hands on the wall, lean and push for 10 seconds, okay? And then we're going to release. You're going to push for 10 seconds and then release. I want you to do this 3 times. Okay, so we've got our palms of our hands on the wall, we're leaning into them, pushing, and then we're releasing. Only for 10 seconds are you going to push, okay? 10 seconds push, then release 3 times. If you don't want to do that one, that's okay. We can pair this with a longer exhalation. So now when you breathe in for 4 counts, you're going to breathe out for 8 counts. Make sure, guys, it's double the amounts that you inhaled. That is so important, okay? Double the amount that you inhale. And we're going to do this for 3 rounds. And this is going to slow your heart rate down a bit. And the self-talk I want us to have here is strong and steady is safer than strong and fast. Okay, now if you're in the flight response, and this is your racy, you can't sit still kind of response, I want you to shake or bounce, or shake and bounce for like 20 to 30 seconds, okay? Then stand still and feel your feet. And then I want you to try something like walking to the door and slowly back whilst you are doing that in for 4 breaths, out for 6 breaths, okay? Try it. Let's see what happens. And the self-talk that I want you guys to have in this one is that I can move slowly, but I can still move forward. Now, if you're in the freeze response and you're feeling numb and foggy, this is what I want you to do, okay? We're gonna do a micro movement ladder. So we're gonna wiggle our toes, we're gonna roll our shoulders gently, guys, gently, and then we're gonna turn our heads from left to right. Slowly, slowly, guys, okay? Slowly. I don't want you to rush this. Remember, we're taking time for ourselves here. We're getting into our body. And the self-talk that I want us to have here is that tiny movements count. I don't need to rush to be safe. Finally, guys, if you're in the fawn response, which is kind of like that people-pleasing, auto-yes, over-apologizing state, I want you to put your hands on your chest. We're going to do some boundary breath. So we're going to inhale for 4, and we're going to exhale for 6. And we're going to repeat this 5 times. And I want you to practice saying a sentence out loud. So something like, I'll get back to you tomorrow, or that doesn't work for me. And the self-talk that I want us to have here, guys, is that it's safe to check my yes and no. So you might be thinking like, what the heck? What am I doing? And so I'm going to explain it. So this is exactly why this works. These body first cues reduce the survival charge. And once the alarm lowers, the prefrontal cortex comes back online and you begin to have some clarity and choice. All of these things return to you. And trauma science consistently shows us that body-based methods help renegotiate threat responses rather than arguing with them cognitively. All right, let's do a little quick check-in points. Now that we've learned a lot, it can feel a bit overwhelming, like a bit of cognitive overload. So let's just do a little quick check-in here. On a scale of 0 to 10, how settled or safe do you feel now compared to before? Even if it's a +1 or 2, that matters. That's your window of capacity opening up. Okay, guys, now we're going to get into the reframe after we've regulated. Okay, we're going to make all of this mindset stuff stick. So now that your body feels even 5 to 10% safer, we're going to give your brain simple, truthful updates. And you can use one of these. We can either go from state to choice, and this can sound like, because my body feels calmer, I can choose one small step. Or we can give it permission. We can say something like, it's safe enough to try and stop if I need to. Or we can have a very specific next step. Maybe you can say something like, just send the draft, not the perfect email. Whichever one fits you the best, I want you to pick it and say it out loud. Keep it boring, doable, and honest. That's how we rebuild trust with our nervous system. Okay, now we're going to be taking one tiny action. So you can open a text message and type one sentence, or you can stand and fill a glass of water. Small actions in a regulated state create momentum, and your system is learning that we can move and we can stay safe. Okay, but now there's a little disclaimer that I have to have with you guys. If anything felt a little bit too intense in these exercises that we have done so far, I want you to pause, open your eyes, orientate yourself to this room, stay in this room with us, okay? And if you're looking for some deeper trauma work in TRE, I highly recommend that you look for a certified provider. I will put a link in the description below where you can have access to different providers globally. So go in there, check where they are, see if there are any close to your area or that you can connect with. Find one that feels safe, and please stick with this, guys. I also provide online TRE sessions, but no pressure there. Just make sure that you look in that link, guys, for a certified provider. Okay, now we're going to complete the loop, because once you've spotted your state and once you've regulated, you've opened that window. Okay, your body feels safe enough now, and your brain has come back online. And this is the moment to move. Because here's the key, guys. I don't want you to aim for a giant leap, okay? I want you to aim for a tiny action. Why? Because actions in a regulated state retrain your nervous system. They teach your body it's safe to act. So this is how you are going to start to build trust with yourself again. So there you have it. This is your unstuck protocol in 4 simple steps. So let's go over them again one more time. Okay, so first we're going to name our states. So this is going to be your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. Then we're going to regulate your body. So we're going to orientate, breathe, ground ourselves, and then release. Okay, you've literally just practiced it with me. Then we're going to reframe after regulation. Okay, this is a simple and honest update that I can take one step today. It's safe enough to try. And finally, we're going to take one tiny action. We're going to send that draft. We're going to wash that one dish. We're going to step outside and get some fresh air. Okay, that's it. Repeat this loop whenever you feel stuck. And over time, your nervous system is going to learn we don't stay frozen. We can move forward. Listen, you don't need to fight yourself anymore. You're not lazy, broken, or weak. You were in survival mode. And now you know how to move out of it. So don't forget to download that worksheet in the description. It's called the Unstuck Protocol. And please use it as you watch this video. And you'll notice that shift happening in real time. And if you want to go a little bit deeper and truly rewire your system, I do offer online TRE sessions where I guide you through releasing stored tension, stress, and trauma in your body, helping you not just regulate, but completely reset the way you show up in your business, in your life, and your relationships. And if this video landed with you, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for another video. Every week I share science-backed psychology tools that help you truly regulate, heal, and thrive in your life. And before we leave, I want you to remember this. Your nervous system was designed to protect you, and now it's time to teach it how to let you live.